I'm Matt Landau, and this is Unlocked, Quick Tips. This week we're talking about moments of engagement. Moments of engagement are the interactions that connect us with our guests. They're the openings for lines of communication and meaningful relationships that ultimately generate profit. You likely seek out these moments of engagement already with your friends and your family and your loved ones. Going on long car drives, for instance, is a wonderful moment of engagement because neither of you have anywhere to go, and you're both looking forward. It's far less confrontational. So how can we seek out these moments of engagement with our guests? Moments of engagement require effort, that's for sure. They rarely happen accidentally or automatically unless you're physically on site all the time. And they rarely happen regularly if you don't have some kind of standard operating procedure in place. So we've put together 6 ideas of ways to cultivate these moments of engagement. Number 1, take the time to call a guest upon an inquiry, upon arrival, upon departure. Say hello, talk about their trip, maybe reveal any special details about the home. Number 2, custom write a longer than necessary response, including a personal detail or two, to showcase your family business nature. This is opposed to using a template or canned message that goes out to everybody. Number 3, physically show up, with warning, of course. It can mean an in-person check-in, stopping by to say hello, or bringing extra coffee filters, just as an excuse to have a presence, to be there and show your face. Number 4, the underdog blog. These are the challenges that you're experiencing as a small business, along with some of the victories, and sharing this stuff on your company website in the form of a blog. Everybody roots for the underdog, almost more so for trying than for their actual success. This is a great hands-off way to open up as a small business and create these moments of engagement, but at scale. Number 5, send a handwritten note. It's probably the easiest and least executed moment of engagement of all. When you receive that handwritten note, you automatically recognize that person was thinking about you. And number 6, cooking challenges or board games or throwback toys. These are the kinds of things in your property that give a group an excuse to do something together to create their own moments of engagement. There's some technologies that can help foster these moments of engagement. Sometimes the technology itself can cultivate those moments. Not life-size robots that behave like humans, but rather there are companies that are actively personalizing automation in order to deliver feelings of connection. And in the thread on VRMB Communities, where we're exploring moments of engagement, Dana Lubner of Denver says something we've been doing over the last 2 years is easy, and it's really made an impact on our bottom line. And that's sending an automated SMS to the guest the evening of their check-in. We ask how everything's going, if there's anything that we can do. It's great to see the enthusiastic gratitude for that check-in and excitement that we often hear about being on vacation, which is ultimately infectious. Dana uses Track property management software, which has the SMS automated feature built in. But beyond that, she also comments that a tool called Twilio can achieve the same effect. Jan Stevens jumps into the conversation from Bowen Island off the coast of Vancouver. She says answering and returning every single phone call is a game changer. She said, when I talk to a guest personally on the phone, it highlights that power of voice and how it makes a lasting impression. Jan also recognizes the power of meeting guests personally. She says, for the few times that I've had dinner or a glass of wine with my guest, I can say 100% of the time they become repeat guests. Mark Norton of Casa Campana in Arizona has developed something of a 3-step moment of engagement sequence. He says, I follow many of the practices discussed here, using text, email, and telephone at different points of the stay. There's a minimum number of instances where I do my absolute best to connect live, and the first time is 2 to 3 days prior to their stay. Mark says, my ulterior motive in this conversation is to establish familiarity well before there could be a problem. Mark's second moment is shortly after the arrival. He says, I check in, make sure everything looks good, see if they have any questions. This impresses that I care about their experience and want to make sure it's the best. And third, Mark checks in night before departure. He says, one last time to confirm the stay went well and any property issues I may need to pass on to the cleaning crew. This helps to set the hook and expectation of a review. Suzanne Young, the vacation rental strategist, jumps into the conversation. She says, all of our guests had children between 8 and 12, and we wanted to anticipate the problems before they actually arrived. We found that when we did that, we earned those moments of engagement with our guests. Our goal was to cater to the pain points and then solve them. So a gourmet pizza in the freezer for late night arrival quelled the people that were hungry or hangry on their way. She said a nice bottle of Okanagan wine are perfect for frazzled parents upon arrival. And she said sports equipment, things like tennis racket, basketball, putters for her amenity center, all those things set up and ready to go. That is a moment of engagement in and of itself. The thoughtfulness helps relieve stress and therefore earn trust. And lastly, Christina Thompson of Chattanooga Vacation Rentals said at the beginning of our business, it seemed like these moments of engagement with our guests was simply a natural reaction to providing the service. However, as we moved forward and began to grow in size, this required much more intention. My husband, Thor, handwrites a thank you note to almost every single guest every single month. And yes, this takes several hours each month, but it's completely personal. He reviews their particular stay, and he connects, and he offers them a returning guest discount. This is such a crucial spidey sense that allows us to know the folks, owners, staff, even people at restaurants, taking the time to listen and have conversations that go beyond just the transaction are an easy way to form those moments of connection, which ultimately leads to repeat and referral bookings. To summarize, moments of engagement are these opportunities that we have to form special relationships with our guests. You likely are already doing these things in your personal life. So taking a page out of that book and making gestures, putting thought into the way you are going to host, and taking the patience and time to talk about more than just the property. These are the new marketing investments. They are the investments that lead to bookings. If you enjoyed this concept, consider joining our private community at community.vrmb.com, where I post an idea just like this every week, and our fellow community members jump in to iterate and improve upon the idea with action items. We like to think that we have the world's most creative and thoughtful vacation rental professionals all under one virtual roof. That's community.vrmb.com. Thanks for joining me today.